This is one of my favorite. This is a Pappardelle, which is a thick noodle, thick cut noodle with a Puttanesca sauce.
Puttanesca.
Puttanesca.
Doesn't Puttanesca mean horse pasta?
It does.
Like a putte?
Yeah.
Puttanesca. Puttana was a whore, right?
A whore. That's
there,
right.
I said it on TV.
Yeah.
What's the deal with the name?
Well, they're like all food anthropology, different explanations to the name. We have three that we like to go by. One is that it was so quick and easy to do that in between customers, they would make the sauce for themselves.
Okay. I like
the
that.
other is that it was so delicious that the prostitutes would make it for themselves between customers.
Okay.
And the third being it was so aromatic and pungent that it would bring in customers.
Okay. All right, so what's our first step? Tell us what you do, because I want to help as we learn.
To put in the pasta.
Okay.
And pappardelle can come like this, or it could come, as we know, pasta in like long, just
strips.
Strips.
Okay.
And we want to put in about 100 grams per person.
Okay. 100 grams per
100
person.
grams.
How much is 100 grams?
100
One of these?
grams is, let's say.
Please tell me it's more than that.
Oh, about 5 of these would be 100
okay, that
grams.
sounds good. All right.
Yeah. Most pastas
I think I always
come
put in more pasta than
I know, everybody does, but that's a good thing because you could always serve it the next day and it's just as good.
Well, you can eat lots, yes.
Yeah. Salted water, very, very, very important.
Why do you salt the water?
Because the sauce is a great sort of flavor enhancer.
Yes.
But the pasta itself should have flavor.
Okay.
And the way we're going to get flavor into the pasta is through the water. So as it's absorbing the water...
So you should always salt your water before you boil it.
Always salt your water.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. Now, there's some people that say you salt it before it boils. Some say you salt it after. There was actually a food scientist, did some studies, showed it's exactly the same no matter when you throw it in. So just put your salt in your water.
Salt in the water. What, a pinch? Teaspoon?
Oh, a good tablespoon.
A good hearty...
A hearty,
really?
Hearty tablespoon.
Okay.
Hearty tablespoon.
All right. So now you've already got something going on there.
We got something going on here.
What's
We have the first stage of the sauce done.
Okay.
And so what we did was take some canned tomatoes that we have here.
Your basic run-of-the-mill canned tomatoes?
Basic run-of-the-mill canned tomatoes.
Okay.
We took the excess liquid, poured that out, and here's the fun part.
Poured that into the pan,
Into the pan.
Yes.
That's how we started. And then with your hand, you just go right in, and you just crush it. Yeah.
Do I get to do that too?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'll let you
so you don't buy diced tomatoes? You should always, woo! It's like the haunted houses on Halloween. Woo! It's like sheep's brains or something. Okay. Oh, this feels good. This is therapeutic. Oh yeah, of course we washed our hands beforehand. I'm getting the cue in the ear. Tell them that you washed your hands. Of course I did. Okay.
Yes. Always, always, always wash your hands before you start cooking.
Of course. Yes. My 3-year-old knows that. Okay. So we did that. That's really fun. We don't add this now though because that's
that has already gone in, and we cooked it for a little while.
All right.
And we also put in all the ingredients we're going to put in right now. Okay. And we do this in 2 stages. We put all the flavorings, which are olives and capers, garlic and oregano.
Those are the staples of a puttanesca.
They also do anchovy.
Oh yeah, I don't do those.
But I know you don't do those.
Yeah,
and so
a
lot of people don't. And so we keep that optional.
And
you could throw in a few fillets if you want. And if not, you leave it out and it's perfectly the same. It's just delicious.
Good on you. Cool.
So I will give you some black olives.
Okay.
And I will take some green olives.
Now I notice you've got lasagna noodles here. What are those
We do have lasagna noodles. Now, if you can't find pappardelle, if you go to the local store and you want pappardelle and it's not there, you can take some lasagna noodles and we cook some up right here.
Okay.
And then you could just cut them into long...
Or break them
break them.
Okay. Oh, so you make your own little pappardelle.
You can make your own.
So this is for people who are so excited watching you right now, but don't have time to run out and buy some pappardelle, but they might have some... I can't say it anyway except pappardelle. I can't say it.
See, this is what a pappardelle noodle should look like.
Hey, look at that.
Bravo.
Homemade from a lasagna noodle. All right, that's clever.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's handy to know.
So that's handy.
Yeah. Learning all kinds of tricks today. And now we're going to do the olives.
Let's get our olives.
What is the pro chef's trick for how to get the pit out of the olive?
Yeah. You know how you take care of garlic? Give it a good thwack.
We thwack?
Do thwack. Knife goes on top. Be very careful not to actually cut yourself. Hit it. And then the seed will come right out.
It just pops right out. Look at that.
Really,
There's
really
our pit
easy.
bowl. And then, do you cut them beyond this, or you just throw them in that chunky situation?
Well, it's really up to you. If you like bigger pieces of olive, you can leave them as such, or you could give them a rough chop. But this is a very rustic, hearty, family style kind of thing, and so it doesn't really need to be too fancy. You don't want to go nuts with this.
Family style, not according to the name, not according to the origins of the name. No family values going on in this dish.
I suppose it depends which family you're coming from. My mother's going to kill me.
Woo! Hubba hubba! Okay, Howard.
So now that we have our ingredients rough chopped, so we're going to go in with the olives, and we're doing this in 2 stages. We had the olives in at the beginning of the cooking.
Oh, you put some olives in with those smushed up tomatoes?
And some go in after.
Now, why do you do it in 2 stages,
We do it in 2 stages so that we have a really dynamic, complex flavor. The olives and capers and herbs that go in at the beginning will sort of mellow out, and you'll have this nice background, soft flavor to them. Okay. And then you'll get these hits of pungent, fresh olive and caper. And it's just to keep the mouth interested.
Like the foreground and the background.
Exactly.
The layers.
Exactly.
Okay, you're good.
So a little bit more of the oregano.
All right.
And then this is pretty much ready to go. Now we want to let it cook, and again, with pasta sauces in general, you can cook them forever and ever and ever. But I would say give it about half an hour at this stage. And
half an hour like that, and then add this stuff, or half an hour after you've added the second layer?
It's about half an hour after you've added the second layer.
Boy, those Puttanescas didn't have a lot of business. they had a lot of time to wait. Okay, about the pasta, what's the trick for making perfect pasta?
The saying goes, pasta waits for no one, and that's the truth. The best way to serve pasta is right out of the water. And
okay.
The big no-no.
Pasta waits for no one.
The big no-no is to rinse your pasta.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Everybody thinks you're supposed to rinse the noodles.
Everyone thinks you're supposed to rinse it or put olive oil so they don't stick. What happens is you get rid of the surface starch on the pasta, and that's what lets the sauce cling to the pasta.
Oh my gosh, we are learning today with you. I never knew that. Okay. So don't rinse the pasta.
Yeah.
And cook it right before you serve it.
Right before you serve it.
Okay.
And
would this work just as well with different kinds of noodles?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. So we take out a piece.
Yep.
I mean, these are nice.
Is this how we're checking to see if it's done?
This is how we check. I've heard stories of throwing it against the wall. Why would you throw it against the wall?
I had a friend in university whose entire wall, one wall of his kitchen, had spaghetti noodles stuck onto it. He threw them in. It was a very university trick, but he threw them and left them there.
So taste that.
And oh, it's good. So it's still al dente. Holy cow, is that ever good?
Isn't it, though?
How can you make such, like a, a basic noodle taste so good?
That's the salt.
All right.
Salt. So we're going to turn
water. Don't rinse it off. Gotcha.
Turn the heat off.
Okay.
And now we are going to drain our pasta.
Yep. Okay, let me put this in the sink for you. Okay, let her rip. Oh, there's hardly any in there. That's just enough for me. I'm one of those people who always cooks too much pasta because it's so yummy.
Well, again...
When I talked to Nigella Lawson earlier in the season, we had met with Nigella, and she says that pasta dishes are a staple in her family kitchen, as they are in mine. I thought that was in good company there. So it's nice to get an original, a new idea here.
Absolutely.
I think we should have you back to do even more yummy pasta dishes. Okay, so now what are you doing?
The last trick for pasta,
okay,
and perhaps one of the most important, is to mix the pasta with the sauce before you serve it.
Okay, so you don't ladle it on top in the bowl.
No, unfortunately, when you do it like that, you really don't have a chance for the pasta sauce and the pasta to marry.
To get friends.
Yeah, we want them to be all chummy, like the Puttanesca, like the Puttanas, and their clients.
All right, whoopsie, this is the wrong one. And how did you know? I missed how much sauce you put on there. How do you know how much sauce to put on?
You want enough to coat it, but again, food is about taste. If you like more sauce, put more sauce. If you like less sauce...
Just checking, because you had so much wisdom on everything else. I thought you might, have a golden rule about that.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay, so now we're plating it. We know from experience that you're a better plater than I am, so I'm going to let you do that one.
I think you did a great job last time.
I see you have some garnish.
We do have some garnish.
Okay.
Nice fennel fronds, because I just love that slight, subtle, delicious anise flavor.
I'm gonna taste me this one, and I gotta get a fork. Okay.
So I have a little bit of olive oil. Olive oil is my sort of quick restaurant garnish. At home, this is how we sort of plate up to make it look all restaurant fancy, really easy.
Little dribbles.
See, it makes it look so pretty and so quickly.
Beautiful. Throw the frond on so I can taste it.
Frond and taste.
For Howard's delicious recipe so you can make it yourself, log on to cbc.ca/Jill. Don't go away.